Howdy, folks! Welcome back to Out of War, Season 5 in the frozen Arctic. I've been moving a little bit of dirt. I went ahead and bought another of the cable excavators. It works a little better for getting the coal up out of the ground into the hopper. And we might use that a little bit. But the main thing in this video we're going to do is I'm going to start cutting in a bench here, kind of above where the coal is. And then the idea will be we'll use this to scoop some pay dirt. And we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to use a truck or how we're going to get the material into our processing plant. And of course, we'll have to add on to the processing plant. But we'll see how that goes. But also, it's going to be a little bit of a setup video. I just don't have a ton of time. So I'm going to set up my joysticks right here in the video. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to try maneuvering the bulldozer with the joysticks. And we will see how that goes. And I don't know how they're set up in real life, of course, because I'm not a heavy machinery operator. So I'm going to set them up. I think on my left stick, I will have forward, reverse, left, right for the tracks, and then in my right hand, I'm going to have up, down, and tilt for the blade. So let's see if we can get that set up. So if we come here to settings, controls, I did this quite a while back for the excavator. Don't remember. Do I have to click on? Yeah, we just click on joysticks. And then for the throttle, I think we want to do throttle and brake. Is that what we want to do? Would that be... If I click here and I push forward on that. I click here and do that. We're going to have steer left and steer right. So it looks like that's picking that up okay. And then we're going to have blade up will be this axis. Blade down will be that axis. And then I want, is it tilt in, tilt out? I'm not sure if that's, I think that's what I want. Tilt in and tilt out. And then we will save. Okay, that does go forward and back like I expect. Dude, that's a little weird. I have to like move the stick really far. And then it just jumps in. That doesn't seem right. Hydraulics feel pretty good on the stick. A little sensitive. Let's go back in here and take a quick look. Might have to do some modifiers. So if I click here, yeah, there we go. We get sensitivity, dead zone. It's not a pedal. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. I could use my pedal so I don't have them hooked up. Let's try making this like a 4. And then tilt out. Let's make that a 4 and we'll see how that feels. And then the weird thing is with the left and right. Doesn't seem right at all. Steer left and steer right. It's super sensitive. May I need a smaller dead zone? I'm not sure. Try 2 on the dead zone maybe. Save that. Hop back in. It's like trying to turn but not. See, the forward and reverse I have really fine control. And I have fine control if I'm moving. Yeah, that's really weird. I don't understand. Maybe that's just the way it is, but I have to move like you can't see my joysticks obviously, but so I'm moving, so that's full deflection to the right. That's like half deflection to the right, and it's doing absolutely nothing. And then once I finally get about 2/3, just maybe that's like 3/4 or more of the way over, then it finally goes. Yeah, that's really odd. I don't know what to do about that. So I might have to do some tuning. Actually, I want those to be backwards. So that'd be like a curl in on a bucket. So yeah, I need to reverse those guys. So let's go back to controls, then we'll get to actually moving some dirt. So we want these to be reversed. So this one is plus. I want that to be minus. So we come in here, we can say clear. Say clear. So tilt in. I think this is backwards. That's just the way it was. Tilt in and tilt out. Like that's the way I would think about it. Tilt in, I would think, would be tilting, you know, the top of the blade towards the dozer, but I think that's the way it was already set up. Tilt in. Yeah, that's... So they're calling that tilt in. I guess it's just backwards from the way I'm thinking. So we'll make it backwards in the controls. Tilt in, tilt out. Can I just say invert? Oh, it's set to invert by default? What? Okay. Let's do that. Save. Are these set to invert by default? Weird. I don't know how it decides to do that, but okay. Alright, so that's the movement I'm expecting. Left, and then right tilts it down. Okay, let's see if we can move some dirt. I don't know how this is going to go. It might go pretty terribly. We'll see. Especially the steering is really off. And of course, I have no muscle memory for this. Yeah, I'm going to need kind of a side view for sure. Yeah, we're drifting off to the side. Apologies in advance to experienced dozer operators. I don't know what I'm doing. It's just turning to the right. Really hope the dozers get fixed with the new update. They get shoved around by the dirt like they're made out of styrofoam. Oh, there's a bunch of coal in there. I didn't think there was coal up this high. And of course, you got the problem where the blade's interacting with the dirt when it's 4 feet in the air. I think I got lucky on the other dozer work I did because it was mostly flat. We'll try the sticks on the excavator here in a bit too. I know you can't tell in the video, but I had like almost full left stick there, trying to fight the tendency to move. Now, when I prospected here with the pick and also with the drill, there was no coal up here, so I don't know where this coal is coming from. That's really odd. But I do want us to go to controls. I'm gonna go to camera. I want to set up the hat here real quick to move my view around. Oops. And left. Right. So that should do the vehicle camera. And then is there a vehicle camera reset? Camera zoom in, zoom out. Let's make that on the other hat. So zoom in, zoom out. I don't see a reset. That's fine. All right, save that. Now we can zoom in and out. We can move the camera around. All right, cool. Wait, what? I was pulling back on the stick and it was going forward. That was weird. Wonder if it's to the left and right if I change that to track forward. I just had a thought. Let me go back in here. Sorry, this video is going to be a lot of joystick stuff. But hey, if you didn't know how the joystick stuff worked, we're learning together. So let's clear out the steer left, steer right. Clear that out. And then what if I did... So if I push the stick to the left, that would be right track forward. So if I do that, and then left track forward would be that. And then left track backwards would also be that. And then right track backwards would also be that. Would that work? No, it does the same thing. It's like almost full deflection and then full power. There's no like nuance to it at all. It's so weird. Why do they do it like that? Well, if you guys use a stick with a dozer, let me know how you set that up, because this does not work as expected. Let's undo this. I need to, I guess I could look and see. Let's put this back on steer left and steer right. So that will be that axis, and that will be that axis. And then if we go here, yeah, the sensitivity and everything get reset. So weird. What if I put the dead zone on 0? It doesn't let you put it on 0? Okay. Guess we'll put it on 1 then. There's still no nuance to the stick at all. I'm waving the stick back and forth. Like almost half deflection each way. Weird. Alright. Into the ground we go. Yep, I'm just not able to control the dozer at all. Too much dirt. Yeah, it just wants to drift downhill. There's just no weight to it at all. I mean, I know I'm trying to move a lot of material, but it should stop. It shouldn't scoot downhill. Sort of getting the bench. Kind of what I was going for. Sort of. There's all kinds of coal up here. There was no coal when I prospected here. I guess as long as we get it into the system, it'll go where it's supposed to go. Now the steering does seem to work properly when the tracks are moving. So that's interesting. I wasn't wanting to dig in there. The blade insisted on digging in. There we go. Every once in a while, I can get it to do what it wants to do. Now, obviously, I do need a lot of practice, but there's a little bit of weirdness to it as well. And it would be hard to show the controls because they're spread out across my desk. I have a joystick to the left of my keyboard, and I have a joystick to the right of my mouse. So they're like 2.5 feet apart. Be kind of hard to get that on camera. Can't remember the channel name, but there's a guy, he makes a lot of shorts and stuff. He's an actual, I think, Dozer operator, and he plays this with the joysticks. If you want to see somebody that knows what they're doing, go look up, like, Out of War Dozer, and you'll probably find him on YouTube. So we can cut just a little bit off here. We'll just trim that off. 10 feet above the blade, sure. Whatever works for you. Alright, see if we can get turned around. Get away from that. Okay, we got a little bit of a shelf here. I might be able to work with that with the bucket excavator. That's kind of what I was wanting to do. Let me get zoomed out a little bit. Whoa. Do I want those to be backwards? I don't think I do. Controls, joystick, camera. Yeah, let's invert these. So we'll do up. Yeah, there we go. That's a little more like farm sim. Kind of what I'm used to using. Alright, let's get this guy back out of the way. And let's see, I don't have a parking brake key. So set that real quick, and then we're gonna hop in the excavator. So if I go to, can I do like vehicle? Parking brake? That parking brake on that key, sure. Have that be the horn. We'll get some lights on that key. There we go. Now I can kind of do some stuff. We got lights. Hit the horn. Parking brake. Alrighty, let's set up our excavator controls with this guy. See if we can get some more coal in there. I kind of made a mess with the dozer. I don't know where this coal came from. That's so weird. Is that just surface coal? I mean, that's a lot of coal, and I prospected up above here, make sure we weren't going to be moving any coal. I don't know where this came from. It was not there. But the way the stuff spreads around is a little weird sometimes, so we'll just go ahead and stick that in there. Okay, let's see if we can get our excavator control set up. Now we should still have zoom, so I got that much working. There's nothing happening with the axes though. Can't hit the parking brake. We got a horn. So let's go to settings, controls, and excavator. I don't remember. I know there's a couple different standards. I don't know how I'm supposed to have these set up. So I'm going to set it up. I think usually... You know, maybe I should get a reference. Let me look up a reference real quick. Okay, so I did a little looking around. It looks like SAE is pretty common in the US. That does look right. So I was doing swing left, and then we have the boom. Boom up would be this way. Boom down would be that way. Let's see, curl bucket. Curl out, yep, on the right stick. That's what I was kind of remembering. And then we have arm out. So arm away from you would be that way. Arm in would be this way. And then there's an extra one here for bucket open. And that's used on some of these drag excavators. So I'm gonna actually do that on that key. That's the trigger on my right stick. All right, can we move this at all? We got some curl, we got some back and forth. I don't think, I'm not sure that's used on this one. The bucket open, it's used on the other excavator. It makes a noise, but I'm not sure it's actually doing anything. Okay, so that's curled all the way out. That brings the arm in. We get a scoop versus moving the whole excavator. It's a little bit of a pain. And again, I have no muscle memory for this, so it's going to be a little rough. And then I want to swing the view around. Yeah, we're doing all right. And then arm out and uncurl. Okay, and then this is boom down. We are curled out. So we can get a scoop. I didn't get much of a scoop. A little bit of a scoop. Whee! Alright, arm out. Uncurl. That is as fast as it moves, by the way. Right, let's see if we can get a little scoop from over here. Yeah, again, it moves the whole excavator, which is makes this really awkward. Come on, bring towards yourself, and then curl up. There you go. All right, bring that arm in. Might need a little more of a dead zone with the excavator. It seems to pick up movement quite a bit. Nope. Out, and there we go. Getting some material in here. So obviously I need a lot more practice. So both sticks forward makes it go that way. And I dumped everything out right on the ground. Sweet. There we go. All right. Alright, I want to make sure I'm still curled in. Alright, super awkward, but we're getting her done. Let's do one more scoop and then we'll go try the other excavator. on the face there. Might want to buy a dump truck. There we go. Got a little bit of a scoop. Dribbling dirt the whole way. Alright. Shut this guy down. Probably should have shut that dozer off. Sitting there burning fuel. I didn't set up the tracks on the excavator. Not sure how one would do that. Alright, let's get the started. Let's actually set that up as a key. So we go into controls, vehicle, engine start stop. Put that over on that button. There we go. Okay, I have swing left, swing right. None of my other controls work. Are they different for this one? Excavator? See spider legs. I don't even know what that means. Oh yeah, rope shovel. There are different controls. Interesting. Okay, so we have to set that up separately. So we want boom down, boom up. And we have, this would basically be the dipper, so that's away from me. That's back in, and then open hatch would be on that key. See if that does what we want it to do. Yep. Alright, that does nothing. That does nothing. That does nothing. What? Say what now? Settings, controls, excavator. Did I do this wrong? Maybe it picked up the wrong axis? So this would be boom down and boom up. And then boom out. I think it's picking up the same things. It's different sticks. Boom in. Why is that not working? Get the bucket wheel. I don't know what the... these are like the extenders. Some of them must have stabilizers or something. Okay, weird. All I get is I've got left and right. Oh, now it's working. Okay. That's up and down. I don't have curl at all. That should open the bucket. Right, okay. And then basically the way you close the bucket is you bring it back down. Okay, we have movage. The only thing I don't have is a way to move the tracks, so I'm just going to use the keyboard for that. We'll track it in place with the keyboard. Let's see if I can actually scoop anything, and then we'll go from there. Also, I'm going to need to get a fuel depot in here at some point. I'm starting to see some pay dirt over here. Alright, let's get our bucket in. So I need to go like that. Yeah, I don't think you can actually adjust the boom. I think the boom is just kind of there. You can only move the shovel itself. Let's get right up in here. And let's see if we can scoop this. Do I want to try to scoop it into a truck? Not sure how I want to do this. Hop out. I don't actually have a truck. Let's take a quick look. Got this guy. Or I've got the rock truck. I'm not sure. Can I get into a rock truck with this bucket guy? I guess I could try. So that's 30 yards. 39 yards. I'm not sure if I can even get into this guy. Let's try it, I guess. $180,000 gamble. Here, we'll put you over here and we'll get you into position. Don't have it painted, but that's okay. It's just a long video of figuring things out. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if I can get up high enough. Kind of back up like here. And we'll just have to see what happens. So if we go look for orange... We want one of those. If we go look for chains, we want, there's going to be 6 of those. And, oops, and if I go into inventory, say, get rid of you. Take all the wheels off. Yeah, and then we'll just put these chain tires on. Just thought, you know, snow and ice, maybe we'll put some chains on as kind of a standard. Alright, let's see if we can actually get some pay dirt into the truck. Right after I sell this paint. There we go. Yeah, I had a detonator because I was playing around with some explosives. Just ignore that. Okay. Can we move material with a bucket? I gotta remember how this works. So that goes down, and then that goes out. And it's not scooping anything. Sweet. This doesn't really work with the darn. I'm sure there's a use case for this. I'm not 100% sure what that is. It's also very different from running a regular excavator. Here we go. I think maybe we're doing it. Just kind of scoop up the face, and then it just catches. Yeah, not exactly what I was going for. All right, and then if we're all the way up, can I rotate around? And nope. Oh, maybe? Nope, nope, nope. No, we're not going to be able to dump into a truck. That's as high up as I can get that. It will not go into a truck. So we're going to need a lower platform, I guess, for the truck. But we're getting into the pay dirt. I don't know if we actually have any pay dirt in this bucket or not. I don't know if it's worth getting the dozer in there. That'd probably just mess up stuff even more. Let me try hacking out a little bit of a pad here by hand. Still getting a lot of coal here, which is totally unexpected. See a little bit of a shelf here that's lower for the truck to sit on. Yeah, I don't know where all this coal came from. That is really odd. I may just end up going with the wheel loader. I wanted to try out the bucket excavators, but they're fairly limited. At least until you get to the bigger ones. I think we're going to be able to scoop off this face. Kind of go as I anticipated. We just have to get the truck low enough that it can actually dump into it. Yeah, that's a lot of coal. Yeah, we're getting there. See if we can get that hind wheel down and get some material in this bad boy. Kind of get down in that depression, and then I think we can maybe dump into it. Alright, back on the joysticks. There we go. Now we can only dump into like the back of the truck. And when we come back around, we have to, I gotta remember, I don't have any muscle memory for this yet, so if we come down like that, it'll swing down, it'll latch back in place. And then I think that's as far down as I can go. We just kind of scoop out. That's as far out as I can go. I got absolutely no material at all. Sweet. Alright, so that's back and that's down. Let's take our parking brake off. Let's track forward a little bit. See the pay dirt, it's right there. Yeah, I don't know what I can't quite find the angle for this. It takes some practice. Like it doesn't want to dig in, it just pushes. Yeah, I think we're too far away. Let's track forward again. I don't know if I'll be able to swing back out of here. Alright, that's as low as we can go. There we go. That's kind of the motion we need, I think. First, now I'm stuck on the thing again. We swing out. Make sure I'm actually over the truck. Push that out and release. Hey, we did a thing. Look at that. Alright, you need to go back down. You need to come in. You need to latch. Yep, we didn't get the right angle. It doesn't want to dig if it's not happy with the angle. Alright, suck this in. You are down all the way. Problem is we're tilted back a little bit on the tracks. I think that's hurting our approach angle when we try to dig. So I might need to make a little bit of a platform here. So we just can't quite get the right angle. Alright, give me a concrete block. If I go to grid, it's not quite where I want to be either. Alright, let's do that. And then I want to snap to that. And then that's actually the level I want to be at. Maybe even lower than that. That's a start, though. And I need to be probably 3 wide to be able to sit on it. I could probably do 2 if I was careful. Yeah, we can do 3. We're gonna have to just clean this up. See if we can get this and then get the excavator up on here somehow. Do that, that, and that. And I don't think it's going to climb that, but let's give it a whirl. All right, back on the joystick. Can I shouldn't be able to lift myself necessarily. And yeah, I can't really, but if I track forward, can I get up on there? No. Okay. I didn't think I could, but worth a shot. See if we can get up here and back onto this platform. This is why I always use wheel loaders, because they work well. The rest of the equipment, fairly specialized. I think this rope shovel would work if I can get the right angle. Yeah, man. There we go. All right. Back to low hydrostatic. Chew the crap out of this concrete. And how far back can I go? Ooh, about that far. I don't think the tracks are real tracks. I think they probably use bakery like Farm Sim does. Okay, that's as far back as I can go. Let's do a little more digging and then we'll wrap this video up. It's a good learning experience. Learning the sticks. There we go. So that's more like the angle it's designed to work on it. And then we just kind of have to hope for the best here. As we dump into the truck. Nope. I don't have any muscle memory for this, so I'm fumbling all over the place. Alright, we'll get that latched back down. See if we can get a little bit of a scoopy scoop off of here. Yeah, it doesn't really want to scoop moving forward a lot of the times. So we only got a little bit of a bucket. And of course we're gonna have to rebuild our approach ramp to get the truck lined up better. But that's the basic idea. This kind of pushes into the dirt and then you raise it up with the cable. And we're starting to see some pay dirt. I don't know if we got any pay dirt really in the truck yet. Judging by the texture, I think we did. Yeah, I think that's all the way out. Just a little bit of a scoop. Not much. Down and latched. All right, cool. I think we will call that an episode. What I'm thinking is we will kind of have a truck spot here where I can back in right next to where the crane is. And then we'll move forward into this hillside a bit and kind of see where the pay dirt leads us. Then we need to figure out what we're going to do for a truck unloading. Do I want something here which then conveyors into that? Possibly. I'll do some thinking and some experimenting. We'll get some kind of setup going. Might get the dozer down here and do a little more work. Let me know in the comments, like, how much of this do you want to see? Do you want me to do everything pretty much on camera? Do you want me to just concentrate on digging out the pay dirt or the coal on camera and do all the other stuff off camera? Let me know what you think. And I'll hopefully get some comments before I record the next episode, although I typically have to record a few at a time. But we'll see how it goes. But this video's gone on long enough. Let's call that a win. We got some material in a truck with a rope shovel. I'm pretty happy with that result. Thanks as always for watching. I'll catch you in the next adventure. Take care.